So it's no secret that President Trump and DOGE want to cut wasteful spending, right? They're doing it. Well, the United States Postal Service hasn't been delivering for taxpayers and could be next in the DOGE crosshairs. Congressman Pete Sessions from Waco, Texas. He's the chair of the Oversight Subcommittee on Government Operations and the Federal Workforce, which oversees the Post Service. And he's with us now, and it's good to have him. So I'm really interested in this because, you know, you're also co-chair of the DOGE caucus, right? And there was news out this week that the Postal Service is signing an agreement with DOGE to work on reforms. Last year, it lost $10 billion. This year, another red year expected. The cost of a first-class stamp, now 73 cents, not cheap. I mean, I love Dan, my mailman, but I'm basically getting junk mail and weekly circulars every day. And I think back to the old MTV slogan, video killed the radio star. So has, email killed the post office? Where do they even start?
So these are good questions. As you know, this is a serious issue, not just for our economy, but also for people who live all across the country. 73-cent stamp means that people will quit using the post office entirely, but we're not there yet. We're to the point where we still need mail service. We need it to be efficient. We need it to be a part of the commerce of the country. We need it to be a part of the regular life that people live. Every single business, every single residence is a part of this system. So how do we make it better? It is going to be made better because there's an insistence that we change the modeling that the post office goes through. I spent 16 years at AT&T. We had to remodel ourselves and rechange ourselves, not only every day, but we had to make changes that were difficult, but that would prepare us for tomorrow. The post office is in that world. We've got rural areas that are growing. We've got all sorts of issues with people moving across the country into places that are brand new, without a post office, without all the amenities. And we've got to decide what we're going to look like. I'm looking forward to working not just with DOGE on this, but really the people inside the post office have seen this change for some time. It's not a surprise, but losing $9 billion a year is not a healthy way, nor is raising the postal rate. So this is one of the things that the president's agreed to get in. We're ready, willing, and able, and we're going to be a part of that from the House of Representatives' perspective of government oversight.
So as you kind of visualize it, what would, if it did move towards privatization, what would that mean for the mail service for the average American? Especially, and you touched upon this, rural America, even suburban America, you know, where people get it delivered right to their house, or a post office is pretty close. So how would you envision that?
That's a good question and a valid question. Today we have rural letter carriers who mostly are by contract, and they have delivery routes and schedules. We have a lot of packages that get delivered now. There is a working relationship between the Postal Service and these other carriers that take things. I don't envision necessarily the term where we go and take it and privatize it. I do believe it will change the modeling of that service. I have advocated for a long time that we need to go to, instead of 5-day or 6-day delivery, we need to go to 3-day delivery a week. It needs to be something that is affordable, and it does meet the needs of the consumer. But that can be done Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, to where you're not driving the same route every day. We also have problems where members of the post office, postal workers, are working mandatory overtime, have been for years, because they don't have enough people who are out delivering the mail. It is an expensive proposition. We've got to get right.
So let me tell you what happens in the Astorino household. My wife orders something on Prime. It comes to our door. She doesn't like it. She repackages it. I go to UPS, and there it goes. And I can envision that happening for regular mail, right?
You know, perhaps you can, But once again, they really utilize each other's systems. The post office uses, and back and forth, these companies use each other for what is commonly called the last mile. The efficiency ratio is not overlapping. Amazon is mostly packages, large packages that have to be delivered because the customer wants them overnight. That is not necessarily the model that most of the mail has to have from the Postal Service. So once again, we do have to find a way that they can survive. I think the number of times, the number of miles, the cost of the delivery and getting more employees will be critical to the equation.
I think people are going to be more open to this because they're getting used to it, as I mentioned, with Prime and everything else. So it's probably an easier transition. Congressman Pete Sessions, I appreciate you coming on this weekend.
You bet.
All right, folks, don't go away. We got so much more still to do. That means you have to stay right there, right here on Newsmax.